The Kursk offensive of Ukraine renewed with greater force. Syria is building its future after a decade of horrific war. This and more in our weekly wrap-up. Let's go. The Ukrainian Armed Forces launched a precise attack on the Russian Army command post in Mar'yina, Kursk Oblast, the General Staff reported on January 2nd. These strikes aim to weaken Russia's capability and determination to perpetrate terrorist acts against Ukrainian civilians, stated the General Staff of Ukraine. They also emphasized that measures were taken to minimize risks to civilians in the vicinity. The attack targeting the 810th Russian Brigade caused significant losses, according to Andriy Kovalenko, head of Ukraine's Counter-Disinformation Center. This strike follows Ukraine's August 6 incursion into the territory of Kursk Oblast of Russia, where Ukrainian forces initially gained control over 1,000 square kilometers. Although half of this area has since been recaptured by Russia in offensive operations, fighting in the region remains intense with widespread use of North Korean infantry. Ukrainian officials consider this contested territory as a potential asset in future negotiations. And who knows, maybe the Kursk NPP has to prepare to stop its work too. Drone attacks on other regions of Russia have also intensified, with footage of strikes on the Rostov region, namely the military airfield and other Russian army objects, and the oil terminal in Ust-Luga has been hit, which is in Leningrad Oblast of Russia. This oil hub is one of the largest in the country, and its disruption can be used to halt oil exports and revenues, which are used to wage war against Ukraine. And let's hear what one of the Ukrainian soldiers thinks about this war after almost 3 years of the hot phase of the conflict.
As Russian officers used to say, Ukraine is just the beginning for them. So we must stop them now and here, during this hot phase of the war. If we don't hold them, I think that European countries won't be able to hold back the Russians neither.
And on January 5th, Ukrainian forces targeted Russian positions in multiple areas in Kursk Oblast, as Andriy Kovalenko, head of the Ukrainian Center for Countering Disinformation, as we said earlier, reported. Russian telegram channels of military propagandists supported these allegations, stating that a renewed Ukrainian offensive is underway. The Russian Defense Ministry said it repelled 2 Ukrainian assaults on the same very day. However, these reports remain unverified. Roman Alyokhin, a Russian pro-war blogger and former advisor to Kursk Oblast governor, claimed that Ukrainian forces advanced northeast of Sudzha toward Большое Soldatskoye settlement using armored vehicles of Western production and demining equipment. He also increased Ukrainian activity in other parts of the Kursk Oblast, and Andriy Yermak, head of the President's Office of Ukraine, wrote on Telegram, "Kursk Oblast, good news. Russia is getting what it deserves." Let's hope for the success of this operation and valuable results provided. Syria is returning to what we can call a normal life, with French and German foreign ministers visiting the country right after the Ukrainian foreign minister Sybiha was there first. This comes as the new de facto leadership of the country is trying to stop chaos in Syria caused by the decade-long civil war. Many freedoms have already been restored, including religious ones for Christians and Sunni Muslims. At least we see those movements. International flights are to be restored from the Damascus airport soon. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot and German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock visited Damascus, marking the first high-level visit by Western powers to Syria since the ousting of Bashar al-Assad last month. The trip aimed to discuss Syria's future on behalf of the EU. One of the minister's first stops was the prison near Damascus, a site synonymous with atrocities under Assad regime. Following the fall of his rule, more than 4,000 detainees were reportedly to set free from Sednaya after rebels captured Damascus on December 8th. Speaking the French embassy in Damascus, Barrot expressed hope for a sovereign, stable and peaceful Syria. While optimistic, he acknowledged the fragility of these aspirations. Barrot also called for a political resolution with Kurdish authorities in northeastern Syria, emphasizing their integration into the country's transition process. A political solution must be reached with France's allies, the Kurds, so they can fully participate in Syria's new political chapter, Barrot stated. He also urged the new rulers to collaborate with international chemical weapons inspectors to dismantle stockpiles left by the Assad regime, since the Islamist-led Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, ousted Assad. The group has attempted to reassure both Arab nations and the international civilized community of its intention to govern inclusively. While Western governments have cautiously reopened communication channels with HTS, debate continues regarding its designation as a terrorist organization still, as they are de facto a ruling force in Syria and for now intend to diversify and rebuild the country in partnership with world democracies.
Europe is prepared to offer support, but Europe will not be a sponsor of new Islamist structures. This is not only in our own security interests, but it is also everything that I have heard time and again from the many, many people from Syria in Germany, but also from many Syrians here in the region, most recently in Turkey, and today here in Damascus. It is absolutely clear that they can only rebuild their country, that the people who have also come to us in Europe from Syria would only go back and rebuild if it is certain that not only their lives, but also the lives of their children and daughters are safe.
Baerbock stressed that EU support would not extend to financing Islamist governance structures, reiterating the need for modernization and inclusivity in Syria's leadership. She warned against acts of vengeance, delays in elections, and attempts to Islamize judicial or educational systems. Syria's new authorities have already begun revising school curriculums, removing nationalistic content and incorporating Islamist perspectives. Changes include altering references to religious minorities and removing some secular symbols from textbooks, as reported. Baerbock called for the reversal of these measures to ensure a balanced and inclusive national identity of the country that faced so many war and grief for the last 12 years and now strives to rebuild itself and incorporate back into the international community. Well, that was it for tonight and for the week. Already tomorrow you'll see Henry Keane in the studio delivering news of the free world directly from Ukraine after a small break that he has been absent from our studio. Hope you like his return. Remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel to not let propaganda win. Stay safe.